Welcome to Stadium Unplugged with me, Jay Menon. We are getting up close and personal with another international sports icon to uncover the person behind the fame. Today, I'll be speaking to a former Dutch international who played for more than a decade in the Premier League and won the League Cup with Middlesbrough. In a career that began in the Dutch Eredivisie, he had stints at English clubs including Coventry, Aston Villa and Middlesbrough. Making more than 500 appearances in European football, he has also played in the Greek Super League and the Malaysian Super League. Welcome to Stadium Unplugged, George Boateng.
Thank you, Jay.
Now I'm going to take you all the way back to Ghana, to where you were born. What was it like?
It was brilliant. As a young boy, you grow up in Ghana and you don't actually realize the poverty around you because you're happy. The most of the people in Ghana are generally happy, regardless of the situation they are in. So as a boy, I was no different to any other person, but I enjoyed it. My mom had a little kiosk. She was a hairdresser, and my dad used to work in Holland, so he would travel back every so often to come and see us. And I would just go to school, and after school just come home and grab my football and just hit the street.
All right, so we know that you must have had a lot of playing football time in Ghana, and then you moved to Holland when you were 9 years old. That must have been quite hard. It's different country, different language.
It was tough. You have to imagine that as a 9-year-old, you're leaving your mom behind, far away, the person that actually is closest to your heart. The positive side was that my dad was there, which was good. It was difficult because not only the weather, the language and the food, but to adjust to the environment was tough. I remember actually being on a flight. It was my first time flying.
Wow.
Yeah, and before we landed in Amsterdam, I saw all white on the floor. And I asked my uncle, I said, because he accompanied me to my dad. I said, why have they put all salt on the floor? And my uncle said, it's not salt, it's snow. I said, what's snow? He said, well, you'll find out when you get outside. When I got outside, it was freezing, so cold. But my first experience of Holland was fantastic. Other than not having my closest family, all of them with me, I enjoyed it. And I picked up the language within 3 months. And I followed my school. And then gradually I ended up playing football.
That's quite a feat. 3 months you picked up the language, and now, of course, you speak more than 2 languages. You speak about 4 or 5, I've been told.
Yeah, I speak Spanish, English,
wow,
German, Dutch. And I'm actually well on the way speaking Malay as well.
Oh!
Yeah, I know the basics as in
All right, well, terima kasih. Well done. All right. Now, let's compare playing football when, you were in Ghana and then playing football in Holland. What was that like? The differences, of course, you're already talking about snow, so that's different.
Yeah, well, in Ghana, I never really played football professionally. I was only playing outside as street football with my friends every day. But it turns out to be that that's the best way to actually develop your skills. Nowadays, you have lots of players at a very young age, especially in the English Premier League. They get signed up at the age of 7, 9, or 10, 11. So they miss the environment of trying to grow up in a hard way to develop your skill. Now it's all structured. So I was lucky. Back then, I could play on the street free and develop my skills. But when I moved to Holland, I never played a professional game in my life. So I had to learn even the rules of professional football. Little things like the offside rule, little things like if you take a penalty and hit the bar, you're not allowed to score the person that took it. These are rules that I had to learn. But I picked it up very quick with the amateur club. And I remember we had a sports day at school. And Jay, I'm always messing around with the students and the teachers. So we had a break on the sports day at school, and one of the teachers came up to me and said, you have to go and see the headmaster.
Oh.
And I was like, uh-oh. I was thinking hard, who have I upsetted now? I haven't done any pranks yet, nothing. So I went to see the headmaster, and he said to me, there's a gentleman here that wants to speak to you. I said, okay. So the gentleman came, and he represented Sparta of Rotterdam, which is the second team in Holland, in Rotterdam. And he said, well, he was watching the football, and he liked the way I played, if I was interested to play football professionally. Wow. So that's how actually it started.
Up until then, you didn't think that this is something that you wanted to do professionally?
No, because my idea was, and the reason why my parents brought me to Holland was to learn, to educate myself, and I wanted to become a pilot.
Wow.
Yeah, so when this happened, I went home and I told my dad, and my dad was like, no, my son, that's not going to happen.
Wow.
So I wasn't allowed to play football professionally at the age of 13.
Okay.
So my dad let me stay with my local club as fun to play. And then when I got to 15, 2 years after, I was approached this time by the biggest club locally, which was Feyenoord. And I asked my dad, and he said, well, if it doesn't interfere with your school, by all means, you can join them.
Well, now that, you know, you've had such a big international career with football, do your parents ever, you know, sound you out? You should have been a pilot, son.
Well, my dad, it's true you're asking this, because my dad one day he always goes to the same barber for years.
Oh.
And I was playing in Feyenoord first team. I made my debut. I was playing regular. And my dad never really had time to come and watch because he was working. Occasionally he would come. So one day he came home and he said, I have to talk to you. And I was like, okay, about what? He goes, today I went to the hairdresser. I said, so? You always go there for the last 10 odd years. He goes, no, it was different today. I said, why? He says, because all my friends, they saw you on TV. Now I realize that actually you are famous.
So it's okay then?
It's okay then. But this was about, I think, maybe 6, 7 months after I made my debut.
Oh, I see.
But they're proud and they're happy for me. And as the oldest at home, they always see me as I have to give the example to my younger brothers and the other siblings that I've got.
How many siblings do you have? I
have 2 younger sisters and 1 younger brother.
So no one else in the family playing football?
Nope. My younger brother tried, but he realized that it's tough.
Now, of course, there are other, you know, famous Boatengs running around in the field of football, and they actually have a brother called George. Have you ever been mistaken for being, you know, the brothers to Jerome and Kevin Prince?
Well, it's strange because not only Jerome or Kevin, and in England we have also the designer, Oswald. So I remember a few years ago I went to a hotel in London and I was checking in, and the lady at the desk said, she saw the credit card and she says, she paused, she says, are you the Mr. Boateng? So
what was your reply for this one? This is interesting.
I had to think really quick, Jay, because I was like, okay, it depends which one you're looking for.
Yeah.
So she said, are you the fashion designer? I said, no, I am the footballer. She went, oh, I'm so sorry. And she apologized. But yeah, there's a few of us around. Yeah. And I met Oswald a couple of years after this incident in Ghana. So me and Oswald were just having a drink, and I said, you know, actually, you've made my life really difficult. And he said, in what way? He said, well, you know, I went to check in a hotel in London, and the ladies thought I was you. And then he burst out laughing. I said, well, it wasn't funny. He says, well, you know the truth. I said, well, he says, it's the other way around as well. So people think he's the footballer.
Oh, wow.
But it's great because we have Kevin and Jerome. They're both doing really well. And they're making the name proud. And every time they score a goal, if I go outside and someone said, is it a family member? I said, yes, it's a family member. You know, but if it's a red card, I'll be like, no. Actually, I'm not Kevin, I'm
no
George.
relation.